Good morning from sunny Toronto. Teach me the Torah standing on one foot. Standing on one foot. I thought I'd stand outside. This morning, I saw a young student from this area. I didn't think he was religious. It looked like he was walking to school. I guess there was some public school nearby. And it's raining out. And he was taking a selfie while walking to school in the rain. So I thought that was kind of cool because he wasn't standing on one foot. He was walking on 2 feet, which means he's taking his time, or he's standing. He's taking his time. When you're on 1 foot, you can't do it quickly or something you just want to get rid of. Probably interesting, the scenery back here. So if you're standing on 1 foot, you want to go to the basis of something and tell everything in one breath. So you could stand on 2 feet again. So what is the inner meaning of the potential convert, the non-Jew, he went to first Shammai, then he went to Hillel. Shammai throws him out. Hillel tells him, when he asks him, tell me the whole Torah standing on 1 foot, Hillel gives him an answer. Now, it's not like I've studied this just today, so I'm not even going to be able to quote it or anything. But basically he says, don't do what is despised by you, what you dislike, don't do unto others. That is the entire Torah. Now go and learn, he tells them. So basically that's what Hillel answers them verbatim. But what's going on here? What does it mean to stand on 1 foot, and why does Hillel actually engage in this question and give him an answer? And also related to the fact that he was considering to convert. So he wanted a central idea of Judaism that would speak to him and communicate to him or allow him to appreciate the entire significance of the Torah. So first, what is the purpose of Torah? Torah is for the sake of giving the Jewish people instructions as to how to make this world fit for God to dwell in. Well, if a king was coming to town, how would you have to make the town? What kind of accoutrements and things do you have to add to it? How do you have to prepare it and clean it up? Make its parks look. So the Torah tells us how to do all that. So if we're asking for a 1 foot, it's obvious difference here between 1 and 2. You have very general universal principles in Torah, Judaism, that appear graphically as an image or an idea that's an allegory for something. So you have numbers also that's more pristine form of that notion. So you could have 1 foot, which represents oneness. When you're at a state of oneness, when you're going to the ultimate core of existence, which is God, prior to his creation, I don't mean chronologically, but prior to more primordial than when there is any consideration of creation, but when he first gets the idea to make a creation. So from God's perspective, on 1 foot, when you talk about oneness, when you speak about oneness, when God was just one and there was no world to speak of, then what is the Torah? What was the purpose of God making Torah? Why would you create a world and then institute a Torah? From God's perspective, what's the point? You tell me that, and then I'll be interested in converting to your religion because I'll understand it. Tell me the whole existential reason for God, for existence, and tell me why God did it, and then I'll know what my purpose is and whether I want to be a part of that or whether that rings true to me. So Hillel does not throw him out. He takes his question seriously and he gives him an answer. That on this basis, and this is just my own thoughts, but on this basis, if you're asking me from God's perspective, why did he create the world to begin with? I'm going to tell you that what's despicable to him, what he dislikes, what God dislikes, don't do to others. That is the most basic and first step towards recognizing an other, towards appreciating, ultimately loving the other. But the first step towards that, at least don't do it to them what's despicable. Because you always have the question, why is it expressed in the negative? Don't do what's unsavory to you, don't do to someone else. We know it's usually phrased, it's summarized as love your fellow as yourself, which is a positive injunction. It's stated in the positive. Or do unto others what you would have them do to you, the golden rule. But we say it in the negative because I think it's saying, what is the most basic recognition of the other, of someone else, is when you don't do what you don't like to yourself, don't do to them. So care about them a little bit. Ultimately, the higher expression, the more full expression of this, and where it ultimately should lead to recognizing that it's actually there at the core. But at least take a step towards the idea of other by caring not to harm them, offend them, or slight them in any way. So when God's considering a world, he recognizes that as an other, you should love the other as yourself, recognizing that if you're the creator, if there's a oneness, then whatever I create that's other is really a deep expression of myself. I'm going to go back in my car because I can only enjoy standing on 2 feet in the rain so long, even 2 feet. I was just doing that, if you listen to the beginning of this videotape, because of that inspiring moment when I saw that student, the young boy, taking a selfie in the rain. I thought that was cool. Okay, I'm going to stop this one, maybe continue and go for round 2.